Let's try to understand some properties of the structure of the human face and why there are so many people who do not like their own photos and what to do about it. The property of the human face that interests us is that in most people, the left and right sides of the face are not quite the same and are also slightly asymmetrical. The asymmetry of the human face is very noticeable in the famous photo of Abraham Lincoln. He had a particularly asymmetrical face. In fact, this photo was taken exactly from the front in relation to Lincoln's face, although his body is slightly turned. In the first picture, we see the original photo. On the second one is its mirror image. On the third is Lincoln's face, made up of his two left halves. And on the fourth, from two right ones. The last two photos particularly clearly illustrate the described effect. Below is the result of the same operations on a woman's face. Makeup hides the asymmetry of the face, so this effect is less noticeable, but nevertheless clearly present. People are so used to this phenomenon that they might even find a completely symmetrical face of another person slightly unnatural if they encountered one. Given our great habit of asymmetry of the faces of all our acquaintances and strangers, we do not even notice this difference between the left and right sides of human faces. Or rather, we do not attach any importance to it. But this phenomenon still manifests itself in a very interesting way. The thing is that people see themselves most often in a mirror, where their face is reflected from left to right, and they get used to this mirror appearance. But all other people and cameras see people for real, without a mirror reflection. Due to facial asymmetry, the picture that people see in the mirror and what other people and cameras see are different. Thus, in a photograph, a person sees himself as he really is, and in the mirror reflected from left to right. The appearance of a person in the mirror is more familiar to him, so when looking at his photograph, almost all people unconsciously notice something is wrong and perceive it as terrible or weird. That is why most people do not like their images in photos. This is only a matter of habit, because people in real life, in photos and in the mirror, are equally beautiful. And indeed, there are no objective or even subjective reasons to consider, for example, the image of a woman in the first photo, more beautiful than in the second. Mirror reflection of any picture does not change its beauty. In addition, for other people, the image of a person they know in a photo seems familiar, and therefore as beautiful as the person really is, because other people and cameras see the real person equally correctly. For strangers, it makes no difference at all that they see another person in a photo, because they are not yet accustomed to his appearance. For example, for us reading these lines, the first and second photos of Lincoln are the same from an aesthetic point of view, although he himself, accustomed to his mirror image, i.e. to the second photo, apparently perceived his true photos, the first photo, as very terrible images of himself. But what if you still want to start liking yourself in photos? There are two recipes. Reflect your photos from left to right. You will see your usual self, and you will like your photo. But this method has a very big minus. Only you will like this photo, because the rest of your friends will suddenly see you reflected, and they, in turn, will think something is wrong and weird. They are used to seeing you in photos and in reality the same and real. Therefore, it is better to keep these photos for yourself and post the original versions of the photos on social networks. Do not look in the mirror, but take selfies instead. In this case, you will constantly see yourself as you are and gradually get used to your real image, and you will begin to like your photos in which you are depicted as real again.